Assalamu alaikum students. It is your English class. I am your English teacher Humaira Tahir. Yesterday we completed the explanation of the poem Stopping by Woods on the Snowy Evening, and we also wrote the summary. Hopefully you will have learned that summary, and now today we are going to start the exercises of this poem. Okay, you need to open your books. Look at the first exercise, that is comprehension questions. Are you ready? Okay. Look at the first question, that is, who is the speaker in the poem? The answer of this question is, the speaker in the poem is a horse rider or the poet himself. Question number 2. Whom does the speaker refer to in the first stanza of the poem? In the first stanza of the poem, the speaker refers to the owner of the woods. Refers to the owner of the woods. Question number 3. Why does the speaker stop on the darkest evening of the year? The speaker stops on the darkest evening of the year because the woods are lovely, dark and deep, and it presents a soothing sight. Therefore, poet wants to stay there and enjoy the beauty of nature. Next question is, why does the horse impatiently await the next move of his master? The horse impatiently awaits the next move of his master because he feels it unusual to stop there, as there is no farmhouse nearby. So he thinks that perhaps the master has made any mistake to stay at in such a strange place around. Next is question number 5. The speaker in the poem is captivated by the beauty of nature. Why doesn't he stop for long to enjoy the nature's beauty? Now, we can say that the world of imagination is enticing and alluring, but we cannot live in it for a long time. So, the poet here says that the natural scene of the woodland was very enticing and alluring, but he could not stay for a long time because he has to complete his journey and he has to come to the world of from the world of fantasy to the world of reality. Now come to the next exercise, vocabulary exercise. Now here we have to learn something about alliteration and imagery. First of all, you must know what is alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech and it refers to the repetition of the consonant sounds in the line which is closely related. For example, in this line, whose woods these are. Now here the W sound is repeated. Next is his house is in the village dog. His house. H sound is repeated. See me stopping. S sound is repeating. So these are all the examples of alliteration where the consonant sounds are being repeated. Now next is imagery. Imagery is the construction of details to make the picture with the help of words. Mental images in the mind of the reader. So as we have 5 senses, so we have also different type of imageries according to our senses, like touch, smell, taste and sound. Here are the examples. The first example is of visual image, that is huge trees in the thick and dark forest. If we understand this line, a kind of picture comes in our mind, and that is visual image. Auditory image is the rustling of the leaves. Rustling of the leaves produce a sound, so it is an auditory image. Smell, for smell, we can say that the scent of the apples, it's example of smell imagery. Taste, sweet and juicy oranges. Touch, rugged and rough path. Now next exercise is underline the words and phrases that depict clear imagery in the poem. Look at the line, to watch his woods fill up with snow. It is a visual image, fill up with snow. Means that everything was covered with snow. The darkest evening of the year. It is also a visual image because it was the evening time, so it was the darkest evening, or it can be the time of winter solstice. Next is he gives his harness bells a shake. Harness bells. Now it produces a sound and it gives an image of sound. So it is auditory image. The only other sounds the sweep of the downy flakes, easy wind and downy flakes. So it is also auditory image. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. Lovely, dark and deep. It is also an example of visual image. Now come to the next exercise. Identify alliterations and metaphors in the poem. Alliteration, his house. Repetition of consonant sounds. See me stopping. Again, the repetition of S sound. Watch his woods. W sound is repeated. He gives his harness bells. H sound is being repeated here. Some mistakes. M sound is repeated. Other sounds the sweep. S sound is repeated. Dark and deep. D sound is repeated. Now come to the examples of metaphors. But I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. So promises here are the obligations or the duties or the responsibilities which the horse rider has to fulfill. And miles to go before I sleep. He has to cover a lot of distance, a big distance before he is going to sleep, or he is going to reach his destination. So both these are the examples of metaphors. Next exercise, here are some words opposite in meaning. Match the columns. The opposite of village is city. The opposite of stopping is moving. The opposite of snow is water. The opposite of frozen is melt. The opposite of darkest is brightest. The opposite of sound is silence. And the opposite of downy is hard. Opposite of deep is shallow. Understand? Now come to the next. Circle the correct options. The poem is suggested of profound thoughts. Three options are given to you, and you have to select the correct one. The poem is suggestive of profound thoughts about a scene of woods in the winter. A part. The poem presents a conflict between obligations of life and desire to escape from them. B part. After reading the poem, we get ready to face the challenges of life. C part. The poem conveys to us a profound thought. B part. Dark woods symbolize death and departure to another world. Death and departure to another world. B part. Now come to the next exercise. Grammar portion. Adjective phrase. As you already know that adjective is a part of speech in which a noun or the noun or pronoun is being qualified, or you modify a noun or pronoun with the help of adjective. An adjective phrase is a group of words that does the work of an adjective. So adjective phrase is also uh, uh, representing an adjective, but it is in the form of phrase. Example, I like to see a smiling face. Now, smiling here is a single word, it is adjective, and it is qualifying or modifying word, noun, that is face. Next is, I like to see a face with a smile on it. Now it has the same meaning, but it here you are using a group of words in the place of adjective, and so it is adjective phrase. When it is a single word, that is adjective, and when the group of words are qualifying a noun, that is adjective phrase. Now similarly, what is adverb phrase? An adverb phrase is a group of words that does the work of an adverb. As you already know that adverb qualifies a verb or adjective or another adverb. Now here the example is Ali ran quickly. Now quickly here is adverb of manner. Ali ran at a great speed. It is also representing an adverb, but it is in the form of group of words, so it is adverb phrase. At a great speed is a phrase and quickly is adverb. Now keeping in mind these examples, you have to solve the coming exercises. This is a exercise. Replace each of the following underlined adjective phrases by an adjective. Number one, he wore a turban made of silk. Now, made of silk is what adjective phrase, which is qualifying a noun, that is turban. Now, instead of made of silk, you can write a single word that can be adjective, which is silken. He wore a silken turban. He is a man without a friend. Now, without a friend is adjective phrase. You can, instead of this, you can write friendless. He is a friendless man. Number three, nobody likes a person with bad temper. With bad temper is adjective phrase. So instead of this, you can write bad tempered. Nobody likes a bad tempered person. It is of no use. Instead of no use, you can write it is useless. He is a man of sense. Man of sense, adjective phrase. Instead of this, you can write he is a sensible man. He is a sensible man. Now come to the next. Replace each of the following underlined adverbs by an adverb phrase. Now here adverbs are used in the sentences and you have to replace them with adverb phrases with a group of words that will qualify the verb. The pigeon flies swiftly. Instead of swiftly, you can write with a high speed. The pigeon flies with a high speed. He built his house there. He built his house over there. He tried hard. He tried with all his might. Instead of hard, you can write with all his might. It will be an adverb phrase. He spoke eloquently. He spoke with eloquence. With eloquence is adverb phrase. Did Sarah behave well? Did Sarah behave in a nice way? Did Sarah behave in a nice way? Now here you have changed the adverbs into adverb phrases, right? Now up till now you have completed the exercises of this poem, unit number 8, and now you need to prepare yourself. First of all, you have to learn the summary perfectly and carefully and then write it on your classwork copies. Also learn all the question answers and the exercises given at the end that we have just gone through. Okay, prepare this chapter for your test next time, inshallah. Okay, Allah Hafiz.